This is the Brave New Coin Crypto Conversation, hosted by Andy Pickering.
Hi everyone, Andy Pickering here. I'm your host and welcome to the Crypto Conversation, a Brave New Coin podcast where we talk to the people building the future in the Bitcoin, blockchain and cryptocurrency space. My guest today is Alex Salnikov. Alex is the Chief Strategy Officer and co-founder of Rarible, which of course is really one of the OG NFT marketplaces. And well, there's a few things going on. Got some news to share. Some updates have happened, but welcome to the show, Alex.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Andy. Thank you for having me today. I'm excited to talk about all the new stuff and the old stuff.
I'm excited too, Alex. Let's, but look, before we do that, let's just do what we do at the beginning of the show. Could you please introduce yourself? Alex, love to hear a little bit about your background, your personal story, and really kind of, you know, what you've been doing in the lead up to founding Rarible.
Yep, of course. I'm Alex. I'm co-founder of Rarible. You already introduced me in that sense. In reality, I'm a startup guy, like this from movies with a smoothie and that kind of stuff. Since the beginning of my career, I was always doing startups and projects on my own, and I've always never had a real job, like full time, somewhere at the company. I started doing crypto day one in my second year of university. I'm doing that since 2012 for 10 years now. I'm born crypto. I love crypto. Crypto is my passion. It spoke to my values very much early on, and since then I'm just like doing it, and of course learning a lot. You can do everything in a proper way from day one. So there's like multiple stuff that didn't work out, and that most of that is like financial. Before you couldn't do like much, just trade Bitcoin, and that led up to more and more proficient things, and Rarible is the latest and by far the best.
Very nice, Alex. All right, well, let's get into it then. So I know you guys have just launched a number of new features. You're calling it Rarible 2. So maybe just to kick it off, Alex, tell us what Rarible is to begin with, and then we can start to learn more about Rarible 2.
Rarible is the trading platform for NFTs, and that sounds pretty broad, and it is pretty broad. So it incorporates the most important several aspects. The first one is minting. And that's how Rarible started. You can come and you can mint an item, upload a picture, a video, select editions, create your own collection, create your own contract, set up royalties, all that stuff. And that is needed to create one-on-one NFTs or editions like series, like 10 of 10. This is the beginning of Rarible, how it started. The buying and selling functionality is, of course, the next most important part, and the third biggest bucket is the Rarible protocol, and Rarible community marketplaces is the platform where you can create your own marketplace, Rarible business, so to say.
Yeah, got it. All right, and so I can see that with the announcement of Rarible 2, there's a whole bunch of new features or new products and new token rewards. There's a RARI token, and so do you want to talk us through? There's a new aggregated marketplace, so I think it means you can explain it better than I can. But now it's NFTs are aggregated from some of the other platforms as well. You've added a number of other platforms. So yeah, any way you want to approach this, Alex, just talk us through some of these new features that represent Rarible 2.
Rarible 2, major upgrade across the board. We started as mostly minting and art platform, and then the market evolved into more the PFP, and the way of trading PFPs is fundamentally different. You have different leaderboards, you have different filters, you have different requests. When people are trading for art, they mostly care about like, oh, which particular art piece do I like? When people trade PFPs, they mostly care about prices. So Rarible 2, it's an aggregated marketplace. That means that you come to the Rarible and you see all the items available on every marketplace. You see items available on Rarible, items available on OpenSea, on LuxRare, X2Y2, SudoSwap, the latest AMM for NFTs. For those of you who don't know, it's a great way to trade floor NFTs. There is a lot of good prices on SudoSwap, and all of that is available on Rarible today. You come to main page. You don't even need to click through the collection. You see the items right on the main page, add your items to the cart, bulk buy, and buy them all together from different marketplaces in just one transaction. So that's the product in a nutshell. Answering the one big thing is like best prices.
Yeah, nice. So that makes sense, and that's very much it's very much a need. It's great to be able to have that kind of one place where you can see, as you say, aggregated prices from a number of the different platforms, such as OpenSea. And I mentioned the RARI token. So how does that work? Because I can see you're talking about the establishment of the RARI Foundation. I hope I'm saying that right. Is it RARI?
It's a RARI Foundation.
RARI.
Yeah.
The RARI Foundation and the RARI token. So, as I understand it, this is, part of the establishment or the build up to a DAO, and you're trying to, decentralize the RARI Foundation over time, right? So, what does that look like?
Yeah. Rarible was the first platform in the NFT space to launch the token. That was a massive success. It was the 5th platform to launch liquidity mining altogether across even DeFi projects. So that was done 2 years ago in the DeFi summer. That worked really great. There was a bunch of limitations of that program. Multiple marketplaces followed the same path and faced the same problems as we did. So we are a little bit ahead of the curve in that sense. And the RARI 2 incorporates the whole new rewards program. The previous rewards program was just doing like by volume, like proportional to the volume. That was the first one. So the new program, it is, first of all, you asked about RARI Foundation. So RARI Foundation is the prerequisite to that program, because the Rarible team does not want to be in control of this program. It is the program governed by the community regulate parameters, how much are we distributing, whom we're distributing, what are the actual like numbers per listing, per purchase. So this is the prerequisite to make it as decentralized and as resilient as possible, so that the token holders can have a say. And Rarible and RARI started very fused together. And over time, progressive decentralization is taking them apart from each other. So this is the latest. There was like 3 iterations already, and this is the latest iteration featuring on-chain governance, Open Zeppelin, govern your smart contract that acts as the treasury holder, and anybody who has RARI locked can make a proposal, vote on that, and it will be executed in the autonomous way. So this is a very important foundation for this new program, and this new program is built up on top of that.
Yeah, nice, Alex. So people that have some RARI, they can lock that up, and then they get governance rights and other perks as well, I'm sure. And can people can what are some of the ways that people can earn the RARI token? Apart from, I'm sure they can just go and buy it if they want on Uniswap or something, but how can they what are the different ways that they can earn or be rewarded in RARI?
Yeah, the core goal of this program is to build up liquidity of the Rarible protocol. Right. So that's why this rewards are tied around liquidity. So what is the liquidity? It is actually like just buying and selling power inside specific order book. So we take an order book as one collection. So there is like among the several selected collections, and we will go later to how they are selected. Among the several selected collections, the 5 selected collections, each of the collections have buying rewards and selling rewards. buying rewards work as is. You go through the aggregator, you buy anything listed anywhere on other marketplaces, on Rarible, regardless, and you get a royalties back in the form of RARI out of the pool. There is a daily pool. If pool is not enough to pay everyone royalties, then it pays the fraction of everyone royalties. But it does not pay more than royalties. That's why this program is like by default non-wash tradable. You can't really wash trade because if you buy from yourself, you pay royalties, and the rewards are just giving you royalties back. So that is the core of the program for the purchases. And then the second part of the program is listing rewards. So what do we want to have? We want to have listing liquidity. So let's reward people for listing items. Then what if you list and delist in 2 seconds? Okay, let's reward for having continuous listing, like over time. And then what if people list high, so it doesn't contribute to liquidity? Okay, let's reward people who list lower more. So that's the essence of the program. The lower you list, the longer your item is on sale, the more points you get. These points get converted into RARI at the end of the day. These two shoulders of the same program, increasing liquidity inside one collection. There is 5 collection total, and people who lock RARI decide what are the next collections that are going to get incentives for that.
Yeah, got it. Thank you, Alex. So it sounds like then if we kind of just to summarize everything, as you said near the beginning of the show, the key takeaway is greater access to lower or floor prices across more collections due to the aggregation of all those additional platforms. And secondly, with the introduction of the RARI Foundation and the token incentives, really you're building liquidity in that token, but also encouraging, probably what I would call the power users, either the traders who are most active on your platform or people who are listing artwork or listing PFP collections and things like that, right?
Yes, exactly. And the buying rewards for encouraging people to, it's directly better to use aggregator than even going directly to the platform. That's the case.
If we zoom out a bit then, I mean, Alex, you'll be only all too well aware of how quickly something like the NFT market can change and evolve. And I mean, no surprise there because, NFTs and they've been around for even like 5 or 6 years, but really in terms of popular culture or widely traded, really only 2 to 3 years, I suppose. So a lot has happened in that time, and you kind of, I'm sure, can you talk about maybe what Rarible was intended right at the beginning when you founded the platform, and how you've seen the market change and how you're adapting and evolving to meet those changes?
Yeah, there is a long road. Rarible started when the NFT space was desolate, really. There was almost no NFTs. It was the 2019, the crypto winter post 2017 craze. We've seen the CryptoKitties during 2017, but they went off with the always inflating supply. I think that's one of the main reasons why the project fell off of everyone's radar. There was just more and more cats. And in the crypto winter, there was no other ideas as to what NFTs are for. And there was just a couple copies of CryptoKitties. And there was 1 or 2 platforms that started to pick up crypto art scene. But there wasn't an idea like that, who can mint these items? So these art platforms, they've taken the approach that only verified set of creators can mint items. Coming from that many years spent in crypto space and Web3 space, that was a little bit off to us, being the gatekeeper of the art movement and deciding who is the real artist or who is not, the curating the platform ourselves. And that's why we went up with the open minting. Just anybody can mint anything, connect your wallet and mint it. That was exactly to the point, and in time. So a lot of experiments were launched on Rarible, just like, oh, what if I do that? What if I do this? What if I do this? When we started the platform, we didn't even know which use case will pick up, whether people will mint tickets or working hours as freelancers or art. And art eventually picked up. So people started to create, users started to create art on Rarible, and an open community that valued decentralization. Somebody who was banned on other platforms even adopted the Rarible, almost like in America was adopted centuries ago by the free spirits. Then there was a year, 2020 was the year of crypto art. Everything was about crypto art. That's the most simple use case of NFTs, really. And over that year, by the end of 2020, the CryptoPunks started to pick up the steam, and that slowly shifted the market towards PFP. In January, we've seen hash masks to launch in January 2021, and then March, February, Yuga Labs, and all this craziness. By the summer, it was flu. It was a total blowout of PFPs, summer 2021. And since then, we live in the PFP scene. So we've more or less followed that with Rarible. At first, it was an open-ended platform, mint anything, launch your experiment. Then it was crypto art specific platform. Now, okay, yeah, go with it. Mint your art. There is a leaderboard of the top selling artists. There is a follow, there is a like, there is social equivalent. And now PFP is, okay, there is filters, there is aggregation, there is best prices, real-time data. That is the following path. And over time, we're seeing that the market goes beyond this into multiple fractional use cases. That is why we launched the protocol, so you can even create your own marketplace for the specific niche. That's the progression of the whole project.
Yeah, makes sense, Alex. Thank you for that. And, you know, interesting to see the kind of the swing towards PFPs, right? And like, I'd be interested in your thoughts and how you see this trend going forward. And you also talked about, you know, meeting the different, the market essentially splitting into these different niche use cases, right? So you've got the kind of the one-on-one art collectors and then PFPs, and then of course you've got gaming, NFTs, and you know a few other use cases as well. But let's just, if we look at PFPs at the moment, I'm sure you would have seen the Reddit NFTs, right? Which I think is like, it's Polygon based NFT collections by all these different Reddit collections popping up suddenly and doing really well. And you know, there's, I don't know how many people are buying these things, but it looks like there's millions, maybe millions of Reddit users. And there's been seen some interesting commentary on this, Alex. You know, people talking about how the reason Reddit have been able to engage so successfully with Redditors, or you know, the Reddit community, is that they've really kept the terminology really neutral and specifically non-crypto. They haven't tried to overcomplicate it. They've just talked about these Reddit avatars that you can buy and use as a kind of digital identity, but they haven't gone too deep into the blockchain stuff or decentralization or even NFTs. Have you been following that?
Of course. It's been on the radar of every person in the market for the past several days at least. So if you're asking to what I attribute the success of that and whether that was a good way to put, as not mention any difficult blockchain things in decentralization, I'm a little bit mixed about this, because in the beginning of 2021, Rarible taking the similar approach to Reddit. We thought, okay, the next wave of users is going to be agnostic to blockchain. They don't want to know what that is. They want to buy from the credit card and they want the fast experience. And we started building for that. And then what happened in 2 months, everybody learned how to use MetaMask and OpenSea. So in reality is that when the person enters the space, what they usually do is they ask their crypto friend, oh, how do I do it? And crypto friend told them, yeah, just like download MetaMask, it's easy. So while it does remove the barriers, a lot of the activity, I think the Reddit activity that picked up the steam, so 3 million users on Reddit, 2.8 million of them have just one NFT. So they just like really tried it on Polygon. And then this number, oh, there's 3 million people that have NFTs, and the Ethereum native traders pick up this team and start to like engage in the trading that. So it's still mixed. Most of what you hear today on the market, like today and yesterday, it is the buzz generated by the crypto native community based on the fact that there is a quite big non-crypto native community that did adopt that. So it's mixed. Both of them are important. Of course, having a notion that there is no gas prices helps a lot. Yes.
Yeah, I think really good thoughts there, Alex, and I agree. There's it's mixed, but it's fascinating to see nonetheless. But I think you're right. Probably a lot of the buzz and the secondary trading is driven by existing NFT traders. I think that's probably correct. What about PFPs in general? You know, because early on, a lot of people, maybe from outside of, native crypto users perhaps, but they're very dismissive of PFPs. And but I think PFPs, even in the even just within the last 2 years, they've proven their use case. There's a proven market for it, and I think just the interest from the Reddit community, whether that continues or is sustainable or not, it shows that there is a demand, and just there's some kind of human fascination with PFPs, and it does make sense just because, of course, it goes back to the simple idea of having a cool digital avatar that you can use in your online play. It doesn't matter whether that's crypto or not. It could just be an avatar that you use in a game like Fortnite. People love experimenting with digital avatars, and really that is all a PFP needs to be. Anything to add? How much do you think about this stuff, and how do you see PFP collections evolving in the future?
I love PFPs.
I love it.
I think they are amazing consumer product. My PFP is the most expensive item I ever bought in my life, and I love it. I love possessing that.
You need to tell us what is your expensive PFP, Alex? What is it? Is it an ape?
It's not a very expensive PFP. It's a Doodle, but like I'm not a very consumer-led person in the real life. I've been nomad for 3 years. I traveled across the world with just one suitcase. Probably the second most expensive thing I own is a MacBook. So my physical life is quite minimal outside of the world and the digital world. And PFP, it makes a ton of sense. Like some of my friends have cars, and they go to an event on their car, and that's the status, the social signal, the joy of like owning that, the emotion of like just kinesthetic when you run the car. A lot of that is just like doesn't have to be physical at all. It can be recreated in the digital world. You own something important. You show social signal. It's great, amazing, and no big difference. The real validation is Twitter, right? Twitter implemented the whole feature to attach your MetaMask to the Twitter profile to put an NFT on it. That's because we see a lot of people do that already without even attaching their MetaMask. So that's the validation. It is really just the clothes of metaverse. You have luxury clothes of your avatar in the metaverse. And metaverse, it's not that VR metaverse. VR metaverse is only a subset of metaverse. The real metaverse is just like anything we do online. That and the metaverse that we live in is very well explained by your iPhone screen time breakdown. And the top of that list is social networks. Top of that list for crypto people is Twitter. So that's why it blew up. That's why there is a metaverse. You need to have items in the metaverse. There is the same stuff. The only thing we're missing is a little bit of physics. In the real world, items can interact with each other very nicely, while in metaverse, they are very much separate. That I see as the next frontier of the development of the NFTs.
Yeah, nice. I relate to that, Alex, and I relate to a lot of what you're saying, especially if I look at my iPhone screen time. Maybe you're the same, so I don't need to be embarrassed, Alex. But yeah, Twitter is by far the dominant app on my iPhone. Yeah, and in my screen time use, and I tried to, well, I don't even really try to cut it down, but it's literally hours a day. I'm sure it's is it the same for you?
Yeah, maybe even more than Twitter on my screen time is Google Meet and Zoom.
Right.
So I'm dying to see the application of NFTs for Zoom. I would love to see yourself now in the NFT headphones of some like really
Yeah.
unique creator collection or something like that.
Yeah, I think about that too. And look, Zoom would be up there for me, but I use Zoom on my MacBook, not on my phone. But you're exactly right. Like, and the way I think about this is, there's, I'm sure, are you familiar with the Fluff NFT, the Fluff World?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know all the kind of the sister collections to Fluff World, but one of them is burrows, which are essentially intended to be kind of like 3D metaverse environments that are being kind of upgraded and over time. And yeah, I can see a future in, well, really quite close now, Alex, and the intention is to be able to use burrows as, yeah, decentralized meeting places where you can meet, your friends, or like in the case of you and I, we would meet there as our avatars and have a conversation as a podcast, and I'd love to be able to do that and then and then publish that as a podcast, and of course people would be able to come and participate and watch live as well. But is that the kind of thing you're talking about?
Exactly. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Um, just like while you were speaking, I thought about your virtual background.
Yeah,
It is so close to be an NFT. The
exactly
next
right.
time I go there and I see the Fidenza on your virtual background, and I know that you're a real OG crypto art person.
Yeah. I wish I had a Fidenza. I don't have a Fidenza. All right, let's finish off this part of the podcast, Alex. I guess just by, tell people, if people haven't used Rarible, maybe they've used OpenSea, but they haven't used Rarible. Make the case for why they should look at Rarible and get involved with what you guys are doing, and take advantage of some of the new incentives that you've made possible with Rarible too.
Of course. So if you would just go right now on the Rarible website and you scroll down to the leaderboard, you would see the 6 items inside every collection that are the bottom floor price listed items for this collection. So right now, if I'm scrolling the collections, I'm seeing the art blocks as number one, and most of the floor prices NFTs are OpenSea NFTs inside art blocks. But if I go to Bored Apes, most of the floor apes, actually all 6 of them come from X2, Y2. So the cheapest apes are not on OpenSea, and if you're using only OpenSea, you don't know that. The cheapest other deed are LooksRare. The cheapest mutants are X2Y2, and the cheapest potatoes are SudoSwap. Cheapest Neolings are Rarible. So you're just losing money. How that our case for you?
Yep. Hey, that is a very compelling use case, I think, for anyone who's buys and sells NFTs. There you go. Simple as that, folks. All right. Well, let's go to a very quick break, and then we'll come back. We'll finish off. We'll have some fun. We'll run Alex through the very famous crypto conversation hot take round. Back in 1 second.
For crypto indices and benchmarking, Brave New Coin's powerful indexing engine can calculate high-frequency intraday and end-of-day indices for a wide range of index products. Brave New Coin's custom indices team delivers experienced consultancy, premium data, and trusted calculation. Contact BNC today to find out more.
And we are back, and I'm with Alex Salnikov. Alex is the Chief Strategy Officer, and he is a co-founder of Rarible, one of the OG NFT marketplaces. Alex, I like to finish each podcast with a quick round of rapid-fire crypto conversation hot takes. Are you up for it?
Let's do it. Hope I won't mess it up.
Let's do it, Alex.
It's quick.
Yeah, it's quick. I'm just going to run some questions at you. Just want you to answer them kind of rapid fire, hot take style. No right or wrong way to do it. Question 1, Alex, where would you say that you sit on the Bitcoin maximalist to multi-chain opportunist spectrum?
Multi-chain opportunist. Bearish on Bitcoin.
Bearish on Bitcoin. Why are you bearish on Bitcoin?
It doesn't evolve. Ethereum made so much progress. It's the only network that went from proof of work to proof of stake, and it takes forever for Bitcoin. It still has its case, but I think next bull run Ethereum will be bigger than Bitcoin.
Yeah, hard to argue with that. That could be the case. It could be the case. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened, but I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't. Well, what would you say, Alex, is your firmest conviction crypto opinion?
Firmest conviction crypto opinion? The markets should be open.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. Alex, Bill Gates famously said that we tend to overestimate what we can accomplish in 2 years and underestimate what we can accomplish in 10 years. With that in mind, anything you like, but, NFTs, the metaverse, what does it all look like in 10 years' time?
It's $1 trillion market. And it reminds of the e-commerce of today. Everything is on sale in every quantity on every platform. There is its own Amazon, its own Shopify, its own luxury brands, its own everything. We use it in the metaverse. It's just a direct alternative to the physical items, but not physical.
I love it. All right. William Gibson said, of course, that the future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. So this is kind of the reverse of the last question. Alex, can you think of an example of the future being here right now, but most people aren't aware of it?
2 years ago, I was buying a digital land, and my girlfriend was like, "Are you crazy? You spent $500 on that?" And then I sold it for 10,000, and she was like, "Okay, there is something to it." The physical items, the digital items, the metaverse is there. It is unevenly distributed, and people are enjoying it.
Absolutely. All right, time to finish this off, Alex. What is your favorite science fiction book, film, or TV show? Westworld is sci-fi. That's a valid answer. Don't you worry.
I'm not too much into books.
Okay, never mind. Have you seen The Peripheral? It's new. It's just started. I think they've only released the first 2 episodes, but I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to. It's by the makers, same people as Westworld, I believe.
I'm adding that to my list today.
Yeah, it's called The Peripheral. All right. Well, hey, thank you for coming on the show, Alex. Fun talking to you. nothing else to say really, except hand the metaphorical microphone back to your good self. Again, tell the people where they can go to find you on Twitter or wherever else you like to hang out. And of course, again, where they should go, well, it's just rarible.com, isn't it? Is it rarible.com? Yeah, where they should go to engage with Rarible. Rarible.com.
Rarible.com, rarible.org is the API product, RARI is the token program website, twitter.com/insider0x is my personal Twitter. Rarible on Twitter, you can always find it, of course.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Alex. All the best, and bye for now. All right. There you go. That was a fun one. I enjoyed that. That was Alex from Rarible. Shout out anyone rocking a PFP. How many PFPs you got? I got one or two, I must admit. Possibly 3 or 4, but no more than 4. But I do like them. I think they'll stick around. I think they're just going to evolve and continue to be really cool ways to build digital communities all around the world. And yeah, simple as that, really. All right, that was today's episode. Thanks for listening, team. This was the Crypto Conversation for Brave